In this video, we're going to talk about the Texas plumbing license and what's happened to it. And as you can see, I've got a special guest, and we're going to talk about it right now. I'm Roger Wakefield, lead AP, the expert plumber. I've been plumbing over 38 years, and I have every master endorsement in the state of Texas. On this channel, I'm teaching you everything you need to know about plumbing. If you haven't been here before, please subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hey guys, I'm Roger Wakefield, lead AP, the expert plumber, and I've got a special guest here today. And it's really funny because I've got another plumber with me that works for another plumbing company. And a lot of y'all send me messages all the time and ask me, Roger, look, I know you won't help me because I'm in your work area, but you're actually in my area too, aren't you?
Yep.
So what I've got is I've got Robert Renfro with me. And Robert Renfro and I are friends, and I really respect him because he understands plumbing almost as much as I do. Maybe?
A little more, maybe.
Maybe not. Okay, no, Robert's a master plumber too, and Robert and I, we have great conversations. I think that both of us, we don't just understand plumbing, we study plumbing and study the trade. So, as y'all know, there's a lot going on with the plumbing license right now. But first of all, Robert, tell everybody about you, about Stark Services, about Service Experts, and why you do what you do.
So, I'm Robert Renfro, and as everybody knows, I'm the group admin for Service Plumbers of Texas, Plumbing Enforcement of Texas, Service Plumbers of America. I'm also the RMP for Stark Services, which is a service experts company. We are the largest plumbing provider in Texas that I know of, and we're here to talk about the plumbing law.
And you and I have been talking about it for a while. Ever since we first started hearing about the Sunset Advisory Commission. And we literally started talking, and we don't always agree on things. And that's what I like about having Robert in, is we may have different opinions, but I think that we both think that what we're looking at and talking about is the best thing for the trade. So, man, the plumber's license, it's if we leave it up to Governor Abbott right now, it's gone.
Gone.
September the 1st. So how did we get to where we're at? What do you think? Because you've seen a lot of the proceedings go on too.
Well, in my opinion, we as a group, as plumbers, we did not get together. We never stood together. Over the last 30 years, I've never seen plumbers standing together like they are now. But we did this way too late. We should have done this 8-10 years ago. I mean, Facebook came a long way, and the groups came a long way in that time. But if we would have stayed together from the start, we could have fought this from the start. That's my opinion.
And I don't disagree with you at all. And I know that the first time that I went down to speak at the Capitol in front of the Sunset Advisory Commission, there were probably about 100 plumbers there. And when I say plumbers, there were service providers, there were PHCC was down there, the unions were down there. There were a lot of people talking about what was going on, and the ones of us that got up to testify, I believe there were 55 on the list, and only 2 of them were for moving our license over under TDLR. And it was the big home builders.
Yep. And
one of the guys who got up and talked literally says, look, I am responsible for building 95% of the homes in Texas. And he wanted us under TDLR because he says, I've got a guy who's been setting tubs for 10 years. He should be able to get his plumbing license. And I went up and spoke to Senator Buckingham afterwards. I said, ma'am, look, if I hire a plumber and he tells me all he knows how to do is set tubs, I really don't need him.
No.
So our plumbing license is looked at here lately by Representative Patty is really plumbing license is something anybody can do.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he's saying. I guess we're going to get to see that in practice and see how that works. You think of it this way. If you're putting gas to your house or you have a gas line in your building and it needs to be replaced, do you really want the guy that used to work at Home Depot doing that for you? Because now all those people can become plumbers with the drop of a hat. So if you're a homeowner out there, I would tell you to call your congressman, call your state representatives, call everybody you know, and get to Austin on the 14th. That's what I'd say.
So, and we'll talk about that here in a minute because there are going to be a bunch of plumbers in Austin on June the 14th.
Yep.
And
11 o'clock.
We'll talk about that because I think this is a good thing, but I also want to talk about what we're actually going down there to do. So, like he said, Patty literally stood on the floor the other night and says, "Hey, I've solved the plumbing problem. There is no license. Everybody's now a plumber." And September the 1st, that's pretty much the way it's going to be, except if you're working in a city like Dallas, Dallas is going to have something in place to say, okay, we believe you're a plumber. And I really don't think all this is going to happen. And I know that sounds bad, but I think that the governor or somebody is either going to find a way to get us under TDLR, or there's another process that was talked about in the beginning of all this 86 legislation, and that is a mechanical board. So let's talk about, first of all, TDLR, because I know you're also a licensed HVAC technician and electrician.
Yep.
And both those licenses are under TDLR.
They are. It's a lot simpler process. I will tell you that the HVAC is terrible. There's no testing. You can literally become an HVAC technician online in a few hours. It's terrible. The electrical license still has some testing and some stuff in it that makes it a little better. Probably not what it should be. I mean, if people are wiring our houses, I think they should have a little more apprenticeship time than what they have. Mm-hmm. The only way that I would think that the TDLR could do an effective job is if they kept the same practices we have and just free up the testing to where we can get more people into the trade. Not necessarily lowering the times, but just making it faster to test and more places to test. I mean, that's really what the holdup is on the whole thing.
And Lisa Hill's already been working on that because I just interviewed a plumber the other day, and he said he actually went to Garland over to Local 100 and took his journeyman, I think, a written exam. So he apparently already had his tradesman. So he had to go take a written test for his journeyman exam, and he did it right here at Local 100 in Garland. So a lot of these things, and I know because I've talked to Lisa about a lot of these things that the Sunset Advisory Commission brought up are things that Lisa's been trying to work on anyway.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, we went 12 or 14 years without making the changes that should have been made and fixing things that should have been fixed. And I know that by waiting too late, the Sunset Advisory Commission, a lot of the things that we heard were, look, y'all have had 12 years. You hadn't fixed it. That's why we're not going to give you 2 more years. But you've got licensing under TDLR. I'm a certified HVAC technician also, so I've got licensing under TDLR. I've met Brian Francis. Y'all can go back and look at one of my other interviews. I've interviewed him and talked to him at the Sunset Advisory Commission hearing, and he's a great guy. I have nothing against him. But I still think the Texas State Board would have been a better place for a plumbing license. But now that that's not an option, because it is abolished September the 1st.
Yes.
So if we've got a choice to go under TDLR or create a mechanical trade board or mechanical board that oversees electricians, plumbers, and HVAC technicians, what do you think about something like that?
Well, I think somebody has to pick it up. If it's a private entity, if it's a union, if it's the PHCC, whoever it is, somebody has to pick it up because it's just too dangerous. If you are now a homeowner, you're at a huge risk because I can come into your house and have a stop blow off, flood your house, and all I own is a truck and I live in an apartment, and you're not going to get anything from me. You're going to sue me, but you're not going to get anything because I don't have anything. So that's where we're coming from, is that if you can't hire someone who's fingerprinted, background checked, put through the rigors of what we demand out of our plumbers, then you're just getting any run-of-the-mill person off the street that says they're a plumber or can spell plumber, and that's dangerous.
It's funny you talk about the fingerprint and the background check and things like that. We do drug testing, background check, the whole 9 yards. And I had a plumber call me yesterday and says, look, I'm down in South Texas, I'm going to go hire people directly out of prison, and I'm going to pay them 10, 12 bucks an hour, teach them how to go in and do little easy plumbing things. And then if they mess something up, I'm just going to shut that company down and open up another one. And, he said it all tongue in cheek, and he was joking, but there's a lot of people that are going to do stuff like that.
Yeah, well, think about it. If, the reason me and you don't use shark bite is because we don't want to flood somebody's house, right?
Oh, that's a whole other argument.
No,
you're right. My guys know I will fire them over shark bite.
What if you take that out of it? Mm-hmm. What if you say, you know what, it's legal, just do it. There's no code, there's no nothing. They're legal, but most plumbers don't use them. I know a few that do, but the question is, where do you put your liability? If you don't need $1 million worth of insurance anymore, and there's so many plumbers that you have to cut costs, what do you cut? You cut background checks, you cut fingerprints, you cut drug tests, and you cut insurance costs. So, they're literally making it to where we have no choice.
So, and I like the way you're thinking, because I've had other plumbers reach out to me. If all the other plumbers are cutting out insurance, licensing, drug testing, background checks, let's just hire an ex-con, throw him in a truck. And guys, I have nothing against ex-cons. I think they all get that chance, and I love it as long as they're drug tested and they have a license and they're doing what they're supposed to do. But say that we're competing now against companies that are popping up overnight that aren't doing all this. They are literally just hiring people, paying them 10 bucks an hour, charging, $80 less an hour than a good company, because they don't have all that overhead. They just got a truck and a guy. How do we compete against things like that?
Can't. You have to become that, or you'll wither and die. So, as service experts, the way we look at it, we're a big company. We can weather a storm. We're gonna go the direct opposite way. We're going to double up on everything we're doing. We're going to do more drug tests. We're going to do more background checks. We're going to do more fingerprints. And we're going to go at it from the aspect of, hey, we're the guys doing everything right. We're not going to be cheap, but we will be good.
And that's our thing. And one thing that I've told people is we're going to change our marketing. Look, I'm an old school plumber. I have a real license. I've got a gold one. I've got every endorsement that the state of Texas used to have, and there's not much about plumbing that we can't handle. Now, if you don't want to pay more, you're probably not our customer, but that's okay. When this other guy messes it up, I'm the guy that you're going to want to call. So he mentioned a while ago about going to Austin and walking at the Capitol, and we're going to talk about that on the next video. But until then, the people that want to follow you, learn more information, where can they find out more information about Robert Renfro?
You can go to the Facebook page, Service Plumbers of Texas. If you're not a plumber, you won't be able to get on Plumbing Enforcement of Texas. We have Service Plumbers of America, but the predominant group in Texas to follow what's happening with the laws and stuff is the Service Plumbers of Texas page. You can also call me. Most people have my phone number. I post it all the time. So just give me a call if you're wondering anything about the law. You can call Roger if you're wondering anything about the law. We're here trying to help in a bad situation. We have to come together. It's paramount.
So if you don't have his number, go to the library. It's on the bathroom wall. He wrote it there. I know. I saw him. Service Plumbers of Texas, guys, that's great. Service Plumbers of America. A couple of good places to get some really good information. I know that we've got some Responsible Master Plumbers of Texas page. There's a lot of different plumbing pages out there right now, and there's a lot of good information on it. But guys, there's also a lot of misinformation. So that's what we're literally sitting here talking about it for. Next month on June the 14th, they're going to be marching down at the Capitol, and we'll talk more about that in the next video. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you've got a comment, please leave it down below. Rob can get onto my Facebook page or my YouTube page and answer any comments too. So if you've got questions for Robert or myself, either one, please leave comments. Please give us a thumbs up. And if you like this video, share it and let other plumbers see it. or homeowners that needs to know what's fixing to happen to them here in Texas. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber, and I'll see you on the next video if you don't get flushed.